A few days ago, I made a video about how the NHL standings at the time of American Thanksgiving seem to be a pretty good reflection of which teams will make the playoffs and which won't. You can watch the whole video here as I went through and dug up numbers for the last 10 seasons to test that theory. But if you just want the answer, it seems like 75% or 12 out of 16 Stanley Cup playoff spots are decided by the time Thanksgiving rolls around in the US. So where do we sit for the 2023-2024 season? This is what the Eastern Conference looks like as of Thanksgiving. And honestly, it's probably what a lot of people would have guessed at the start of the season anyway, with probably the Red Wings and Capitals being the only teams exceeding expectations at the moment. So, if we're going with the rule of 12 out of 16 playoff spots being decided by Thanksgiving, we can average that to 2 teams for each the Eastern Conference and 2 teams for the Western Conference. This is what the teams on the outside looking in look like as of now. If I were a betting man, I'm betting on the Penguins and Devils to sneak into the playoffs and the Red Wings and Capitals to miss out. And the advanced stats support my theory somewhat, given that the Penguins and Devils are both near the top of the league when it comes to their high-danger scoring chance percentages, meaning that they are generating some of the highest number of high-danger scoring chances while giving up significantly fewer chances against. On the other hand, the Red Wings and Capitals are near the bottom third of the league when it comes to this stat. I think this is a pretty interesting stat which should eventually reflect in the standings. Obviously, advanced stats aren't everything, and every season will have its unexpected moments. But it's still something to keep a lookout for to see if the Pens and Devils make a late charge for the playoffs. Okay, so that's where we are in the East, but let's now take a look at the West. Again, I'd say that the teams that are currently in playoff spots aren't extremely surprising, apart from my Canucks and maybe the Blues. So let's talk about the Canucks first. Can they still fall out despite their unexpected blazing hot start to the season? Is it possible? Sure. Do I think it happens? I really don't think so, barring any major injuries. They've looked like a legitimate playoff team so far this year, both in terms of the eye test and in the standings. They are in the bottom half of the league when it comes to their high-danger scoring chance percentage, but I think their hot start should be enough to push them into the playoffs, even if there is some regression coming up over the course of the rest of the year. And obviously I'm biased, so please let me be delusional in peace. As for the Blues, if I had to pick a candidate to fall out of the playoffs, it would be them. They've had a good little run the last few games, but considering they didn't add much to their roster that missed the playoffs last year and also lost guys like Ryan O'Reilly and Vlad Tarasenko, I think they have the highest potential to miss out on the playoffs out of the teams that are currently sitting in a playoff spot. And who do I think could fill their spot if they do regress? Again, I know this is unlikely, but I just can't bet against McDavid. A team with him and Draisaitl should never be this bad. And honestly, if you look at their underlying stats, they really don't look like they should be this far down the standings. They currently sit 4th in the entire league when it comes to their high-danger scoring chance percentage. So they're generating a lot of high-danger chances and not giving up as many in comparison. But their underlying problem seems to be their goaltending. They've given up the 4th most goals in the league so far this year, while their expected goals against puts them around the middle of the pack. To me, that screams goaltending issues, and goaltending, and honestly goalies in general, is weird.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
If there's ever something that can seemingly fix itself overnight, it's goaltending. Goalies get hot, goalies go cold. It's complete voodoo. So yeah, call me delusional all you want. But the bar to make the playoffs in the West is low right now, with the Kraken holding down the final wildcard spot with just a 500 points percentage. That's not a lot. That's an 82-point pace over the course of the year. So I still think there's a chance that the Oilers can do this. Who do you think are the most likely candidates to fall out of the playoffs by the end of the regular season? And which teams are the most likely candidates to claw their way back in? I'd love to know your thoughts down below.